Kochie's Business Builders is proudly brought to you by our partners Peugeot, Microsoft and Qantas, who are helping small businesses grow.
Coming up on Kochie's Business Builders, marketing maestro Nick Brogden joins me as co-host. Jane Kay makes passion and purpose her final destination at Elvie Jewels. Plus, we meet an entrepreneur whose quick change efforts are keeping him flat out. G'day and welcome to another episode of Kochie's Business Builders, where we take a look at the issues facing small business owners and come up with practical advice and tips to help them succeed. Joining me today as co-host is Nick Brogden. Nick's the founder of Earned Media and an absolute whiz when it comes to digital marketing. If you want the lowdown on SEO or SEM, Nick is the man. Nick, good to see you.
Thanks for having me back.
The pandemic has just changed the way customers liaise with businesses and buy, isn't it? So,
absolutely. Does
that mean digital marketing has never been more important?
It's pretty important these days. I've noticed, in the industry that as COVID kicked in and, the online traffic all just shot through the roof, that it got pretty busy out there for us, having to keep up with all the demand.
How do brands and small businesses cut through, if you like? What are some of the ways they can capitalise on this?
Yeah, that's a really good question because it's quite tricky with the demand now. There's so much competition online. So really the key to it is to look initially at what's your competition. Look at who are the industry leaders, who's winning this game right now, and work out what can you do to compete and be better than them. Once you understand that, it makes everything a lot easier because you now know, okay, well, I need to build my website to this level to represent my brand at a point that will match my competitors or be better.
That is such great advice. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this business. Elvie Jewels experienced a bit of a boom with their online sales during COVID, but now post-pandemic, they're assessing whether to make a major play in e-commerce or grow their bricks and mortar store instead. How can Elvie leverage their e-commerce sales to drive more sales to their store, or vice versa? Does it work like that?
One thing I've noticed lately working in the e-com space a lot is that people that have a bricks and mortar store often tend to perform better from a conversion standpoint because the bricks and mortar store, if promoted correctly through your website, it'll actually grow the authority of their site. It'll grow the reputation of their brand. So then people will actually be more likely to purchase from them.
More advice from Nick coming up. But to help John and Nicole work through their options, KBB expert Jane Kay joins the couple for one final visit to see how the numbers stack up for online versus in-store.
Knock, knock.
Hi.
Come
in. Hi. How are you? So great to see you.
Hey, great to see you too.
You too.
How have you been?
How are you, more to the point?
Great. Yeah, we've had some pretty exciting couple of weeks since we left you.
The day we filmed that night, there was like a, what was it called?
Rain
bomb.
Rain bomb.
Sydney.
Oh, a rain bomb.
Yeah. A rain, I know. And basically this whole part of the ceiling was on the floor, and then there was just downpour of water, and it went all the way back to the back of the office.
Dear. It looks amazing because there's no sign of a flood right now.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, we just had to get the contractors in, clean the carpets, repaint, repaint and everything, and in the midst of it still keep getting the orders out the door.
Oh my God, isn't that the way? You can't just stop.
Got to make it work.
Make
it work, that's it, yeah.
So, drama here. What about the store? How has it been going?
Yeah, it's great. So I've got three staff currently at the store, which is really great. One of the staff, we're bringing her into the office. Yes. So we've got a bit of backup now happening. And on the Monday, so she comes into the office and helps out, and she's learning from beginning to end with doing the orders. Fantastic. So that's really great.
And I think it's really good giving her that insight and seeing how things work in the office and the online aspect. Tomorrow we're going to see a new piece of machinery. And we've got the backup here in the office that lets us go and do that so we can improve other processes.
So now that you've, freed yourselves up just that little bit more, what's it really meant for you?
Well, for me, it's given me the capacity, I mean, not just time, but just mentally as well, to focus on positioning the brand and the direction of the brand and doing the stuff that I like the photography and the imagery and the website and all that sort of creative branding, sort of marketing, so forth.
Which is so important when you're trying to grow a brand.
Yeah, absolutely,
you know, really.
because, people can, they sort of see the images and the website and they relate to it and, it creates the connection, exactly.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you for all those suggestions. It's been really helpful, extremely, it's really...
Yeah,
you're the ones that have made it happen. It's all very good to have an idea, but you actually have to put it into practice, don't you?
Yeah.
It's, incredible. Congratulations.
Thanks. Well, I've got a lot more to tell you.
Oh, excellent. All right. Shall we sit down and talk about it?
Yeah, let's go.
Welcome back to Kochie's Business Builders. Well, this week's Ask Kochie question comes from Michael Ma, founder of One Passport.
We get a lot of client calls and phone inquiries. What's the best way to manage this when you have some members of the team working remotely and some in the office?
Well, to help answer this question, I spoke with Mark Leaback, the Managing Director of BusinessCom, a company that helps Aussie small businesses find the right business communication products and services. Mark, good to see you.
How you going, Kochie? How are you?
Good. So, Mark, how do you deal with the flexibility that's needed in phone systems in today's work environment?
Well, there's no doubt that over the last couple of years, businesses have almost got caught out. They had outdated systems that didn't really adapt to the environment. And what we've seen and what we recommend is for businesses really to utilise the cloud technology. That offers, superior flexibility and, most importantly, it empowers and enables remote workers.
So, how do these cloud systems work and who do they best suit?
Well, a cloud-based system delivers phone system functionality over the internet. And that's one of the biggest advantages of using a system like that, because anywhere you've got internet, you can access it. Okay. So you're not restricted like the old days, having a couple of lines coming into the business premises, and you can only use the system at the business premises.
So what should you look for when buying a system?
It has to deliver the functionality that is suitable for your business, that it has to work for your business. It has to be backed by a leading carrier. Very important. They've got to have the resources to back the system. The last thing you want is for the system to keep on dropping out and not being able to use it. And being able to use by multiple devices, very important. So the soft phone option in particular has the ability to use it either via a PC or a laptop or a mobile phone. And of course, goes back to really empowering the remote workers, whichever device they want to use. They're still connected.
And most importantly, how can you keep costs down?
Well, yes, that's a big one. Well, number one, just getting across to a cloud system, you're going to save money. It's on a per user basis. So if you've got 2 staff members, you only pay for 2 staff members. If you've got 40, you pay for 40. So you save money there. And look, we recommend not to sign long-term contracts. A lot of businesses get locked into whether it's 3 years, 4 years, you've seen 5 years, it used to be the norm. And the problem with that, 5 years in technology is almost like a lifetime. And you're not able to upgrade to the newest technology. The ideal way is really to have a month-to-month arrangement and take advantage of the newest technology.
Mark, great tips. Thanks for joining us.
Good on you, Kochie. Thank you.
Well, there is no doubt that upgrading your business tech can make a powerful impact on your day-to-day operations. Ashley Perkins, a commercial master trainer at Microsoft, shares a few clever productivity tips with us.
Hi, I'm Ashley Perkins, the commercial master trainer here at Microsoft. Here are 3 features of Windows 11 Pro modern devices powered by the Intel vPro platform that can help your small business. Windows Hello is a more personal, more secure way to access your Windows 11 devices using your fingerprint, facial recognition, or even a PIN. You can also switch between users on any devices that you're sharing within your small business. I love using Task View with multiple desktops. Not only can I see everything that is open with Task View, but I can also switch between different desktops. With this, I can move between different projects or even keep my personal and work apps separate. If you're like me, do you spend a couple of minutes every time you finish a meeting rearranging those apps on that secondary display? Well, you're going to love the new docking feature on Windows 11 Pro. Keep focused on the important bits and don't worry about having to rearrange your apps every time you connect to that external display, where the docking feature will remember what apps you had open and how you had them arranged. These features are just an example of why Windows 11 is great within your small business to enhance productivity, collaboration, and security.
Are you back in the air for business? Well, here's a prize you don't want to miss out on. Kochie's Business Builders and Qantas Business Rewards are giving away 250,000 Qantas points to 4 lucky Aussie businesses. Qantas Business Rewards now offers even more benefits to make flying for work better value with greater member flight savings, bigger discounts on Qantas Club membership and a new flyer bonus for your travellers every time they fly for work, on top of the Qantas points and status credits they already earn. For the chance to win 250,000 Qantas points to let your business fly, go to kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au/Qantas. Get in quick.
I had an interest in cars. I wasn't a rev head by any stretch. My father raced MG sports cars and he was always tinkering in the garage. But interestingly enough, after 10 years, I still have yet to change a tyre. It was purely by chance. Here I was over on holidays in the US, walking down the street, and here's this guy, what I thought was stealing the tyres off a car. And I've looked over to realise what he was doing was taking the wheels off the car, going to a little van and getting the tyres changed. It wasn't for a couple of months after, until I got home, when I needed tyres, did I realise what a great idea that would be, only to find out there was no one doing it in Melbourne. I spoke to a couple of friends, asked them the question, if somebody came to your house and changed your tyres, would you use that service? And we all unanimously agreed, what a great service. So probably naively, I went off and started the business. We launched with the strategy that it needed to be a national business. So all the decisions we made for the business were about how our vans and our technicians can work remotely. So we spent a lot of time and money developing our systems and infrastructure, enabling our vans to work remotely. And now whether they're working in Melbourne or across in Perth, we work on very similar systems. We had a call from a customer that was going to a funeral and actually ran over some spikes at the cemetery. We ended up sending a van and replacing 4 tyres while that customer was at a funeral. Shark Tank was a fabulous experience. At the time, although I received the 2 offers from the Sharks, I just wasn't ready as a business to take on the investment. It wasn't until 2017 we find our business is very capital intensive, with the cost of a van at approximately $100,000 with equipment. We brought on investors in 2017 and they've worked with us on the journey of growth. Our vans operate 7 days a week. For us, we really wanted a van that was comfortable and reliable. It's important for us to have a safe workplace for our employees, and we found that the Peugeot van really achieved those goals. In recent times, the most rewarding part of my job was going through COVID. We've got 80 staff in the business, and we're fortunate we didn't have to lay off any of our staff during this, what was a very tough period for the business. We all worked together, worked closely as a business, and we got through the COVID period. Definitely the best piece of advice I've been given is create systems and processes. You need to create a business environment where the business operates without yourself and you can step away from the business. The key advice is when you're with your family, be present 100%, and anything that happens within the company will always be there and can wait.
Hi, Hi, I'm Ian Whitworth, co-founder of national audiovisual business Scene Change and author of Undisruptible, Timeless Business Truths for Thriving in a World of Non-Stop Change. There's two ways to run a business. One is the idea that people are no damn good. Staff are all lazy and stupid. Or you can believe, as we do, that staff are basically good and want to do a good job because it makes them proud to do that. If you start managing all your staff as if they come from the no good end of the spectrum, that's a pretty dark place to operate from. There's always been a bell curve of a few stars, mostly good people in the middle, and then some terrible, hopeless people you should not employ. You can't treat all your staff like they're in that tiny sector, and you also can't put that down to coming from a specific age or generation. That's just a really closed mindset, which will make your business worse. There's this myth with business that you have to be a numbers wizard. When you go to business school, you learn to create spreadsheets where you look at the upfront investment and then do the discounted cash flows and so on. That's all very well if you're building a nuclear power station or a toll road, which you're not. Our business does 7-figure capital investments, and our view is if you can't do it on the back of a coaster, don't do the investment. If you don't think it's going to make you a ton of money, don't make the decision.
Well, it's time to hear Bird's Nest founder Jane Kay's final suggestions on how John and Nicole Ullo can harness their passions to help their business Elvie Jewels grow.
Let's have a look at how you've gone with your homework. I'm ready.
Put the business
I'm
glasses
ready. Let's
on.
get down to business.
Okay. Yeah, well, thanks for your suggestions. I went through everything. I think let's start with, we spoke about the retail premises, which we have our lease coming up next year. So there's over 12 months still to go. The online is still growing strongly, but I just looked at what some of our competitors are doing, and they have retail premises. That doesn't have to be in the CBD, but in the inner city.
And so how do the numbers stack up for the retail store
I'm glad
versus
you're
the
here.
online store?
I've done a report to show you.
Excellent.
So yeah, I went through the sales for our retail location and our online sales. And I did do an analysis on the profitability. So you can see that it's a very even split.
Yes, it is. And the store makes a really solid contribution, and the online has caught up in a way.
Yes.
The money that you pay to do your digital marketing so people find you online, what does that look like as a percentage?
So that's in this column here, and you're looking at about 22%.
So it's the same,
So it's exactly the same.
as the
Isn't that
rent.
fascinating?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
digital marketing is like the rent of your online store.
Yeah. For us, it
People
is
have to find you,
definitely.
yeah.
Last time we were together, we were talking about shipping, because obviously that's a really important component of the online part of your business and getting that model right. So where have you landed there?
Yeah, I did quite a bit of competitor analysis to see what other people were doing, and also looked at the costs that we were incurring
It's a
each
big
month.
cost.
It is a lot. Worked on a model of like $4.95 as a standard shipping rate, and still offering free shipping over a spend of $100, and that just lets us cover about 50% of our shipping costs.
That's fantastic. What about your roles in the business? One of the things we really talked about is really, you know, we're in business for the long haul. What is it that you two really want to do as part of as being part of the Elvie team?
So I'm definitely focusing a lot more on the retail side, managing the staff and managing the running of the shop, and looking at possible new locations. Also focusing a lot on the engraving and the innovations that are available for engraving new machines or new products.
You're bringing out new product lines.
Yeah, we are thinking of definitely bringing out new product lines.
And for me, I guess I want to be in control of driving the Elvie brand, and the imagery, the brand, the content, the creative side. I want to manage all those aspects.
Yeah, I know. You two sound so energised. It's like you've just recharged and you're ready to go. Doesn't matter. Throw a flood at me, throw anything at me, and you two just keep on going. It's incredible.
There's no stopping us. But look, I really appreciate the time you've spent with us. I know you're very busy and you've taken a lot out of your schedule, and I want to thank you.
It's been gorgeous.
And we've made just a little gift for you to take home with yourself.
Oh, look at this, honestly. Oh, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Nicole.
You're welcome.
Mwah.
Nick, Jane Kay has been wonderful with John and Nicole, but It sounds as though they could fall into the danger of running themselves too thin. On the digital side, is it time to bring in support?
Yeah, well, that's definitely the case because that's an area that somebody can help them with. They've just hired an agency. They should trust that they've hired the right people and sort of not micromanage them. Let them be experts in what they do.
That is really smart. Nick, good to see you. Thanks for joining us today with some great advice that I reckon everyone has benefited from.
Thanks so much. Pleasure to be here. Thanks so much.
And remember, if you are looking for small business tips or the latest news and expert advice, then you can find them all online, kochiesbusinessbuilders.com.au, or follow Kochie's Biz on Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta and Twitter. And I'll see you next week. Next week on Kochie's Business Builders, Shoes of Prey sole survivor Jodie Fox joins me in the studio. It's last drinks for Holly Ransom when she pays her final visit to Tiny Bear Distillery. We also hear from 3 incredible women about how they push through barriers in business to achieve their goals.